Fine. Brian.
You know.
Good. Oh my god, I marked the enemies the whole time. I wanted to tell you they're still up here with me. Didn't see all around.
Oh, you know, in Australia.
Yeah? What is in Australia?
Well, any protests, Black Lives Matter or any other protests, the police don't bother with them. But the people that are protesting against the government, the
police don't govern with whom? What?
The police do not bother
Yeah?
arresting anyone in Black Lives Matter protests or anyone that's not social distancing on the beach.
Uh-huh.
But when they protest against the government, the police form a circle around all the protesters, and then they close the circle, and guess what they do then?
Don't know.
They nick them, they give them fines for not socially distancing. So in other words, the police force them into a crowd and then fine them all for not social distancing.
Because of the corona crisis.
Yeah, but the police are deliberately forcing them into a group.
You talked about the Black Lives Matter thing.
Yeah, and they don't touch the Black Lives Matter. They leave them alone. But the ones complaining to the government about the lockdowns, they form circles, then squeeze the people into a massive group, and then they charge them all with fines for not social distancing. The police are deliberately forcing them into a group and then fining them. The police are deliberately doing it.
Interesting.
Look at Australian news. Look at Sky Australian news. It's absolutely ridiculous. There's an agenda, and they don't want people talking about what's going on, and they make people have to bunch up because they form a circle around the crowd, and the police shrink the circle of police, so you all end up standing next to each other, and then they issue you fines for not social distancing.
Interesting.
That's bad news. That's not right.
Yeah. I'm with you if you say that.
I think that's totally wrong. That is.
Why is the next match not loading?
Don't know. I'll go out. I'll do it again. Have a look at it yourself. Have a look what's going on in Australia.
Yeah, you told me what happened in Australia.
Right, you might have to come back to the lobby, you know.
Don't want to.
I
tried to start it again.
I thought it was.
Oh yeah, I think now it's working. Ooh, did you see that?
No, I'm at the lobby because I.
Oh yeah.
So
the one who killed me, or who killed us, I killed the other one first. He got a big shot with the unibeam. They fight against the one who killed Iron Man. And now they got him. And they opened the safe too. Happy end for them.
Yeah.
But not for us. Yeah, it's... I don't know what happens in politics and that stuff, and I don't know what's right and what's the truth and what's good and what's bad. You know, it's hard to say that, because
But they do it. They do it in ways that you don't know. You see.
yeah.
They're doing this. Well, put it this way.
Okay,
What
now they died, by the way.
What they're telling us is not the
Mhm.
truth. That I know. I know they're
Yeah,
telling
I
us.
mean, politicians are not common or not popular to say the truth.
They are all on the take. They're all career politicians. They're out for profit and money. That's all they are now.
Mm.
Well, not all of them, because some politicians in the UK are actually calling the bigger politicians liars now. They're sticking up for people.
Yeah, it's, you know, politics is like a hard business. And I think all the politicians have different goals,
Yeah,
and some of these goals are economical, and if they make deals with the with the economy, with some companies and something, um, they sometimes lie. That's right. Yes.
yeah. Well, the thing
If
is,
if
yeah,
it's if it's if it's I think the word for that is, if it's federal for their goals.
well, the thing is, yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people now, these people that deal with economics and what goes on in the world, are actually saying they think they're trying to destroy the economy, so people all lose their jobs and they have to rely on the government for money. And then the government is going to bring in a new set of rules for how everyone's got to live. And you'll be given a state wage to live on, but we have to accept their rules. That's what they think they're planning. And if they do that, people who own their own property have got to give their houses, land to the government. They have to give up all the land and the property.
Yeah, that's one thing
Yeah,
that's extremely shitty if they do something like that.
you have to clear all the debts. They'll clear all your bank debts, all your credit cards, but everyone has to give up the property and land. That then
That
becomes communist. You're
it's
living in a
it's
communist.
just criminal. It's big it's a big crime.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
they think they're doing.
Yeah.
Because in the UK, 3 million have lost their jobs now. And people are losing their houses because they can't pay mortgages. More people are dying through more people are dying through suicide, mental health, heart problems, cancers, because no one's being treated in the hospitals. What they're doing is killing more people than the virus ever will. I think it is something to do with this new order they want, this new reset. And if they do that, no one will ever be able to own any land, property ever again, and will be living under communism then. They want the world to run like China does. They want our country to be like China, how China runs their country, where we're all controlled, we have no property, we have to rely on the state, and if you don't do as they say, you don't get paid.
Yeah, so I come back to the lobby, it's not working. You know, I mean,
Do you know what? Look at myself when I say these things, and I do sound stupid to myself. I think, how can this happen in today's world? And I look at myself and think I'd call myself an idiot 5 years ago for what I'm saying. But the way things are going, everything adds up. The people that I see and talk to on the streets are saying it's all wrong.
okay.
I do say, I tell you what, I would never have dreamed I'd have been saying this couple of years ago, but something in the foot,
Yeah, but I mean, you mean that what you told me now,
yes,
your thoughts, it's
yeah.
like you never had this thoughts 5 years before.
Well, a year ago,
A
I've
year
been
ago?
a year ago,
Yeah. What was there?
saying this stuff.
You didn't.
No, I could look
Yeah.
at myself in the future
Yeah, I
and
mean, you
yes,
you make there some very big reproaches to the system and the politics and something like that. And the thing is, I and probably also you can't know everything. It's like nobody knows everything. Not
no,
even
I know
not
that, Mark.
even I don't know the chancellors and the big politicians and also the big I don't know the big scientists or uh not even the big bosses, the big entrepreneurs
It's them.
in their companies, cause the thing is the systems are too big to know everything, and uh, some people makes make some deals with some other people, and not all the other I don't know their opponents or something or someone don't know that, and they make their own deals and talk about this and talk about this and talk about that, and it's I wouldn't make the reproach to the big politicians or the big or I don't know the establishment or something to that they just want to rob us or control us little people.
They got
I
control.
wouldn't do that.
Yeah,
What?
I think of it this way. How free are you in your country? What can you do that is you can do that you don't have to ask permission for? Can you build an extension in your can you build a house on your land without asking for permission?
Without no.
Can you drive a car without having to have a license which they tell you have to have? Just
No.
think of something.
But that is one thing I understand. I don't I don't think it's necessary or good to need to ask for building something on your own ground. But I think it's good that everybody have a driving license because it's
Yeah.
more safe.
Well, I said to my friends that I said I agree with insurance. You have to have insurance because if you hurt somebody, you've got to be able to pay for the damage you cause. I agree
Yeah,
with
that's
things
right.
like that. But think of anything you can do without asking permission for, or you have to do, which they have put a law down for.
What is the law, dang?
Law is like rules.
Yeah, I know
Like
that. But you said law, dang. What is a
no,
dang?
think of something that you can do without a law stopping you, or you have to do something to be able to drive that car or do whatever.
Yeah, so we live in the 21st century, and the law exists since second one.
Yeah.
So
Well, Mark,
it's not, you know, I think it's not it's no wonder that the law is so volumed. I don't know the right word for that.
well, the thing is, Marcus, when I was born in 1966, yeah,
Yeah.
I've grew up. My dad, yeah, you always hear the politicians saying they're on our side. My dad could have one job He could have a wife that lives at home, 3 children, buy a house, have a car, and we could have holidays with just my dad working as a van driver. Now it takes 2 people just to be able to rent a house and live comfortably. If you have children or try and buy a house, you can't do it. And yet you are producing twice as much in your work than what my dad was back then, and yet you can't live the same life as my dad with 2 people working in a family.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So why has it gone so bad that your wages have declined, but yet the rich are getting richer and the poor are getting poorer? Do you know what our government done? We was putting austerity where the country hasn't got money. Answer me this one. The big people like Amazon and all them are paying 28% corporate tax. Yeah. They pay 28% of tax to the government. Yeah.
Tax with an X. Yeah.
Yeah, they pay
28%. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we were putting austerity where the government said they can't afford services. We've all got to be, they called it, we're all in it together. Now, this is what I'm saying now. Why then, when the government is desperate for money, do they drop corporate tax down to 14%? Then they put the VAT up, and then they stop paying, then all wages on people they don't get no wage rises. Why would you drop the richest people who are making billions, put their tax from 28 to 14%, and then make the people go up?
That's because they have the force. They're mighty.
Why would you make the people pay more money, and yet all these rich people pay less when you need the money? That's right. That doesn't add up, because the people paying who've got the most money should be paying the most. Why did they drop the
thing is that the richest succeeds. The richer you are, the more power and you have. You're mightier. You can pay the better lawyers. You can pay for the better strategies and something. So the richest people are mightier than the politicians or the system.
There you go.
They rule the system, and the problem is that they just give a damn on the normal people. And
so you just answered the question there, what I'm telling you. They're more powerful than the government and the people. Now, if they have an agenda where they want more control, they're controlling our government to cause this coronavirus to be worse than it is, wreck the economy, and then they take control over everyone. Then they get all the assets, they buy up all the businesses that are broke, that have collapsed. Here's something that was fishy. When the coronavirus first came out in England, before any lockdown, Amazon, Google, and Facebook had a meeting with Boris Johnson. Why are them 3 people having a meeting with our government when they have nothing to do with our government? We did not elect them. And have you noticed, since they visited Boris Johnson, Google is censoring all the doctors with different opinions about the virus. Facebook is censoring everyone. If you put something on there that's saying the government is wrong, it's getting censored. Are you getting your Facebook things being censored if you talk about the government or about Bill Gates? See what I'm saying? Why did they have a meeting with Boris at the very start, and yet now Facebook is censoring everything that's not going along with what the government's saying? Google is not allowing stuff on the internet, that's censoring it. and YouTube is doing the same. Why would you censor stuff? Why has your freedom of speech disappeared now? It never happened before, and it's happening now. What are they hiding? Why don't they want people knowing other doctors' views about the disease? They censor them. They're not allowed to say. No other doctors in England have been allowed to put their opinion forward. The only opinion that our government is having is the opinion from the same people that Bill Gates employs. Now, and Bill Gates wants everyone to have an injection, everyone in the world, before we can go back to normal, he keeps saying. Think of the profit for Bill Gates by doing that.
Yeah.
And yet these medic people are the ones telling the world what to do. It's these doctors, these corporations that are telling all our governments to lock down, this virus is deadly. And our government are going along with it. And like the person on TV today on the news said, they know they're lying to us because the information they're telling us, I know, this bloke turned around and he deals with all viruses. He's a master in his degree. And he said, they know they are lying to us, the politicians. They know they're not silly people. They are very clever people. So they know what they're telling us is a lie. Why are they lying? Is it to do with money or is it to do with the new reset?
No, I don't think that the politicians are the clever people. The clever people are the people behind there with their interests.
Yes.
So they just control them. I mean, the politicians are trained in speaking and be very charismatic.
Yes.
But and they are trained in speaking with cameras, speaking with the media. So and they have a big power because the people know, okay, it doesn't matter what they're saying, but it's important. It could be important what they're saying because it makes or it changes the rules. That's why so much people follow in the politicians' words. So and then some rich people with their interests can easy come to them and deal with them about their interests, and then the politicians or also, I don't know, the media people can make money with that. And that's, yeah, anyway, that's a very false, cruel sees or not even an uncommon opinion, but it's but the thing is, what helps it if we talk about that or if we think about that? We just can try to get more, I don't know, more power, or I don't know.
That's what we need to do. We need to take back our power from them. I tell you what, Marcus.
Yeah.
I won't talk about this no more. But is it okay for me to message you a clip about the news in England, yeah, and let you listen to what's being said?
Being said.
Can I send you a message of a news broadcast in England with the doctor telling the woman that something is not right and they're lying to us? Can I send you that in a message so you can look at it?
Yeah, you can.
I'll send you that then, and you can tell me after you've read that next time I see you what you think. Okay, I'll do it that way because I'm not very good at explaining myself. You see, I am very dyslexic. Do you understand what that is, dyslexia? Numbers and words are hard for me to do.
Oh yeah. Is it like Legasthenic?
Yes, I'm dyslexic.
How is that written?
Do you know what's funny? They made up a word for people that find it very hard to spell and do maths, and yet the word is so hard to spell. It's
Yeah,
comical.
that's
I made a word that's so hard to spell for somebody who's dyslexic.
dyslexic.
Yeah, dyslexia. See, the thing is, I am very knowledgeable. I could tell you anything about cars. I can tell you about how electricity houses, wires work. I can tell you about biology, the stars, the sun, planets. I am
Yeah,
very
because
technical.
you have a big interest on that and the system and politics and
Yeah.
something which is uh
You
uh
know Einstein, don't
nature,
you?
like nature science, like physics and biologic, and that's where you have your strengths.
Well, dyslexia. See, with dyslexic people, they are very clever at learning things. Do you know Einstein?
Yeah.
He was dyslexic. Most of the people that are the
Oh yeah,
best
yeah, yeah.
inventors
Got it. It's just called Dyslexie in German.
is it.
Yeah. Yeah, but I know what you mean.
See, people think because I can't do maths and I can't write, they look at me and think I'm stupid. But I've actually turned around to them and said, well, throw questions at me, ask me
Just
stuff, and I bet you I'll beat you in what your knowledge is.
yeah, just give a fuck on that.
I'll send you that clip. I'll send you
Look,
the little clip,
look.
and you.
There, that's all about that one meme. It's it's very it's very true, cause you know that the picture where somebody's staying in front of some animals,
Yeah,
and I don't know, there are some different animals: a cow, a fish, an ape, a lion, a bear, and something like that. And he's talking to him. So now get on that tree, climb on that tree, and I give you grades for that. And if the fish thinks he's not talented, or he's silly cause he can't climb on the tree,
oh yeah, yeah,
he ever will think he's silly.
yeah. I know what you're saying.
But that's not his strengths. That
Yeah,
a fish in his nature have to swim in the water.
that's what they say, isn't it? When a fish looks out the water,
Yeah?
it's like us looking out into space. It's a totally different world.
Yeah, that's right.
I'll send you that little clip, and you can listen to it, and you can hear what the news is saying in this country, and what this person is saying about the government in this country. And it's easier for you to listen to that, because for me to explain it, I can't think of the way to say it properly.
Hmm. Yeah, I do that. Send me that.
All right then, I'll do that then. Have you come back to the? You haven't come back to. Have you come back to the lobby?
Yeah, I'm back at the lobby the whole time.
What do you want me to send it now or after the game, so you can read it later on when you've got time?
If you want to.
Hold on.
Um.
I'll send it to you when you've got time to read it, because it's easier, because you can sit in your own house and listen to it, can't you?
Okay, yeah. Got it.
But no rush then.